in, broad strokes, blowout, Calder's View, Valley of the Boom, 1050's always extraordinary playlist.
Hey everyone, welcome to TRS. We are live.
Upload, Operation Game Changer, Nancy Drew, Blue Hour, and Debris. These are just some of what tonight's guest brings. And now it's time for TRS to welcome Evan Rein.
That was an all-right AI song.
That was a banger. I'm so like, AI is just amazing. It's blowing my mind every time I turn around. AI is just coming up with some more and more crazy stuff. That was Josh. That was crazy.
Yeah, tell them how long it took.
How long did it take?
Minutes, not even. It is, like as you say, very crazy.
It literally does fall into like two different categories. It's either like amazing or absolutely terrifying. Like there's no in between. Like, oh, that's all right. No, that was crazy good.
That was good. I want a copy of that.
It's definitely yours.
We'll send it over.
Okay.
We'll send you the site we made it on. They give you like 5 free a day, and the prompting you have to put in is minimal. It's so good. I actually bought like a month worth of just do whatever I want for an entire month kind of thing, and just to play.
I'm curious, what did you give it like some references to some musical references?
I did, yeah. There's we found a site as well that gives you a list of prompts you can put in that will mimic certain artists.
Which artists?
I forget. You know, I did a couple to have some options, and I'd have to go back and check which one that ended up being, and I'll let you know.
Okay, I'm trying to think of
like the '90s power ballad band.
It also sounds like Christian rock to me. It's got kind of like a Christian rock kind of feel to it.
Yeah, definitely. Jars of Clay. Like,
yeah.
I wanted to make sure we introduced. I want to make sure we introduced Evan here. Everybody, we are sitting here with Evan Rein. If you didn't hear the intro credits, he's done a ton of stuff. The one thing I could tell you, I'll tell you two things. Currently, he's on the geez, I just totally froze on it. He's on the show Under the Bridge on Hulu. Episode 3 drops tomorrow. Watch it, get involved. It's a true story. It's based on a true story. And we're going to dig into that towards the end of this interview. But Evan's done a lot of stuff. And if you do anything after watching this, did you watch his reel on IMDb? You're going to see an actor that you're going to see for a long time. Evan, you were fantastic. I watched that reel and got shivers, and I knew I wanted to talk to you. You were that intense. For real. No bullshit. I knew I wanted to talk with you when I just saw that reel. And that doesn't happen a lot.
Wow, thanks so much.
What you're doing, you're nailing. So we want to get in here. Again, if you are, we want to, there's so much I could say, but the intro already listed all the stuff. So, hey, welcome to TRS. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. It's good to be here. Thanks for having me, man. Yeah, I'm excited.
Hey, can I just jump in really quick and let everybody know? While we do have Evan here this evening, we're also on YouTube and Twitch streaming. You guys can just pop in with any questions, and we'll bring it up. We're going to talk about obviously your role on Under the Bridge. We also have other interviews we wrapped. Fantastic interview just happened last week with Loretta Walsh, Ben Emmanuel, Tanya Meme. So check us out on YouTube for those videos. And I think Loretta should be coming out next week. And yeah,
I should have Ben Emmanuel up this week too.
Nice.
We should plug their show coming up, The Lifespan of a Fact. It's going to be, I can't remember the theater name. We'll have it on our right here. Oh, you're amazing, Josh.
Holy crap, that's amazing, Josh.
May 2nd through the 12th this year at Studio 16 in Vancouver. So check it out. Tickets are available. They are selling out, especially the early shows, I believe. So give it a show. They were fantastic guests, and thank them again for being here. Evan, this is your show, so I want to dig in on you. I'm going to ask you questions I haven't heard people ask you before, stuff I couldn't find out, and I'm curious. One thing I did hear was that you fell in love with acting. There was something you got involved with in, I think, 5th grade, where you got some really big laughs, and you knew that's when you acting was your thing. Did you know, from that point on, you wanted to be an actor, or did you still have I want to be a doctor, or I want to be a lumberjack, and then you still went back to acting?
I think that was kind of one of those pivotal moments where it really galvanized what I really wanted to do. I remember the next year, my grade 6 graduation, everyone had to do like a little profile that it got posted on the wall during the graduation. And one of the questions on the profile was future occupation. And on my thing, I posted, I think I put theater actor. So I knew that
Wow.
acting was like something that I wanted to do for sure by the time I got to grade 6. And I think that moment that you referenced, that grade 5, that moment that I had in grade 5 was probably one of the first moments where I was like, oh, this is yeah, this feels good. This is probably something I could that I should probably like pursue and keep following, because it was really fun.
I did want to dig in on that story. Can you tell me like what it was? It was a specific thing, or how much do you remember? I don't expect you to remember all the details, but
Yeah, I mean, it is really clear to me. It was, so I grew up in a community that there just weren't any actors or theater people or film and TV people. I grew up in a really rural part of Alberta here in Canada, and yeah, I had great teachers though. Like I went to a pretty small elementary and high school, but the teachers I had were always so encouraging. And the one that I had in grade 5, she had a particular interest in drama. I don't know if she had ever acted really before, but she had offered this drama workshop as an option for us kids in grade 5. And I think it was like we did some kind of game where it was like a freeze game where you had to freeze at a certain point and come up with a gesture, and then someone had to mirror it, something like that. And I just remember like committing 100% to it and like going a little bit crazy and doing this really kind of outlandish gesture. And to my surprise, it was like really it really got like a big response from the class and from my teacher. And I was kind of a quiet kid too, still am. Like I'm definitely more of an introverted person. So that
right.
was a moment, that was maybe like the first moment ever where I felt like that I had center stage and that people were paying attention to me. And I think that's just like a really long-winded answer of
No, not
explaining
at all.
it, but I think that's a big reason. And I've talked to other introverted actors as well who share a similar story, but I think that's a big reason why actors like us pursue acting, for the reason of acting gives us the sort of this ability to express ourselves that we don't normally have the opportunity or feel comfortable doing in
Good,
normal social situations.
like a good outlet. Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
would it be okay if we gave her that teacher a name? Because I'm a fan of the teachers that always pushed me and said I could do things, or at least encouraged me into things that I might be good at. If I don't know, if you want to call her out, I say call her out.
Sure.
If you're
Yeah.
interested in already.
Yeah. Her name is Miss Annette Sharon's. And I haven't seen her since I was a student in elementary school, so I'm not sure if she's still teaching, even if she's still in the same area. But if she's listening, shout out to Miss Sharon's.
That's awesome. If you ever get the chance, I've actually written a few teachers I had a choir teacher, and I found her son appeared one day on Facebook and said, "Hey, I'm her son," and everybody's like sent him messages, and I sent one too, and she responded. And it was like all those messages, according to him, like just made her feel like her entire career was worth it, sort of thing. So
Oh wow.
if you ever get the chance,
Yeah,
to let her know. Yeah,
that's a great idea.
I found a lot of teachers do like that. Yeah, they might not always remember you specifically, but to know they
Yeah,
changed a life is always as important.
totally,
It's
totally. That's
yeah,
got to be like one of the things that makes, yeah, like you said, like makes teaching so gratifying when you, yeah, hear those stories back. So it's a good idea.
my
I should
words
give it
mattered. Like yeah, and I'm not telling you what to
totally.
do, obviously, but just it was one of those things that took me until late 30s to actually want to reach out and say, hey, listen, you were right about a couple things. Thank you.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so was your family supportive of the acting at that early of an age, or did they
Um,
come around?
yeah, I think it was something that like for all of us in my family, it just didn't seem like we didn't know anyone really who were actors. Um, so I think it was something, and it was always like a question. I think because I didn't have any examples, anyone to look up to who was actually pursuing that. It was something that I wanted to do, but I wasn't. yeah, I wasn't like dead set on it because I didn't even think it was possible. So I think for my parents, it was probably the same thing. I'm not even sure what their opinion was of it when I was that young. But by the time I was old enough to have some independence and started taking classes, and then by the time I graduated high school, they were always, even if they didn't understand it, they were always like supportive of me doing the thing that made me happy. Um,
Good parents.
yeah, yeah, they did. They had, for sure, they had like ideas of what I could have done, and like good like ideas that probably would have had more security attached to them. But yeah,
Learn
ultimately they
AI.
learned AI. Yeah,
Become a
yeah,
doctor or a lumberjack.
yes, absolutely. My mom always wanted me to become a teacher, actually. Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, I think I remember reading Steve Martin's book, Born Standing Up, and he talked
Mhm.
about how teaching was always like a form of performing arts.
I
Um,
agree.
yeah, so I think that would have been a decent option, but maybe later I'll become a
Yeah.
teacher. But yeah,
And in our last 2 interviews with actors, both of them became teachers of acting, but that same passion, that same passing it on, learning through me sort of thing. You always have that future, you know? Um, I think it'd be cool. And teaching, I almost regret that I didn't get into it, but I know too many teachers that to have to want to do that professionally because I don't have that kind of sanity. I
yeah,
wouldn't survive. This
yeah,
day, yeah. In a school, I should say, in a traditional school setting.
right,
Something
yeah,
else maybe, but yeah.
totally.
So when you graduated, did you have a lot of acting friends at that point, or were you like the you had some regular friends who were going about doing whatever they were going to be, and they were like, "That's our buddy. He wants to be an actor." Or
Oh yeah, like in high school, I didn't have any acting friends. I was definitely a lone wolf. I remember like I was taking calculus class, and like um, I would like, yeah, I remember like leaving calculus class early so I could make my rehearsal for this like musical I was doing. Um, and it was just like it was cool. My friends were uh, like I was lucky in that they were like none of them were acting kids or theater kids, but they were all. I think they all thought it was like this kind of like quirky thing. But they were. It was never a thing of like I never felt like felt weird or like uncomfortable about like being open about, hey, I'm doing this music, I'm doing Anne of Green Gables the musical, and come see the show. So
yeah,
but
yeah, I just
yeah,
imagine my group of friends if I said something like that would have been like, "Oh, okay, we'll be there for you, but that's about it.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not
So
running line."
did you grow up kind of more with uh like people who chose like more traditional paths and more like blue
Yeah.
collar kind of,
Yeah.
yeah,
Very
yeah,
few of my friends from then would even consider watching this show. It's weird that I wanna be on the internet. It's weird, even like my day job, I do IT stuff. It's weird that I live near the city and I do IT stuff. A lot of them, one of my closest friends actually worked for a long time in like a traveling carnival type situation.
oh
Another
wow,
friend worked in a steel mill. Like I grew up fairly rural myself.
yeah,
Um, I understand that life. Like I still have a lot of them as friends, but we went different paths. We had different interests. And do you still have some of your friends from then now? Are they watching you on their TV?
yeah, we stay connected, I guess mostly through Instagram and social media stuff, but I rarely see
Yeah,
any
it's
of those
tough.
friends from back in that day. Yeah.
I looked up the map from where you grew up to I guess Vancouver now. That's a 14-hour drive. It doesn't look like it's a long drive, but like to stay in touch with people from home has to be work.
Yeah, yeah. It is like I feel like because there's like a geographical border between where I am now and where I grew up. Like there's a whole mountain range between that. So that definitely makes it feel further apart. And it's a different province too. Like British Columbia almost feels like a different country than Alberta does in a lot of ways. So um, yeah, it's difficult to maintain those old connections.
Have a great one. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful night. Be safe out there. Treat each other well.